Promote to the newest team pointer position, Mr. JC Melvin.
Amen, bro.
And in 2008, my world changed in the real estate industry. I had done very, very well for many, many years, and my wife, by the way, I'd like to acknowledge my wife. She's the one in the red suit back there. She's my wife. She tried to die on me from ovarian cancer in '06. Kind of changed our world a little bit. Anyway, so I tried to do everything I could. You go through something like that, and thank God she's doing real well right now. So that's all. But it kind of changes your world, and you kind of change your perspective a little bit. And so in 2007, I said, look, we got to get some jobs. And Pete Jr. said that I speak, and so I speak around the country, and I speak outside the country. And so we went together and spoke in about 10 or 12 countries in '07. And life was pretty good, and the economy was still pretty good. And then in '08, something happened to the economy. It tanked here, right? And we were hit pretty hard here in Las Vegas. And a lot of the companies that would hire me to speak and coach, they were affected as well. So a friend of mine, a family friend of mine, of ours, Marlene Gilbert, this lady right here, she said, she came to me in March of '08 and said, JC, you've got to come and take a look at this. I didn't realize that '08 was a bad year yet. And so I turned my nose up. I said, Marlene, I'm really not interested. Is it network marketing? And she said, yeah, it is, but it's like nothing that you've ever seen before in your life. And I said, I'm not interested. Yeah, I feel like such a jerk today. But anyway, 2008 went, my life changed, it turned around financially for me, and it turned around the wrong way financially. Okay, are you with me? Yes. Anybody here know what I'm talking about, or yes. Just me? Okay. So when she reapproached me in January of '09, about 11 months ago, okay, and said, JC, you really got to come and take a look at it. I said, you're not kidding. What is it? I got to look at something. Right? Does anybody else feel like this? Yeah. Because I was actually praying for something. I just didn't, seriously, I didn't realize that I was looking for something. I needed something to kickstart my life and get it going again. And so Marlene got me here to a meeting, a Wednesday night meeting, just like this. So after 30 days and doing nothing, I got my daughter's husband had been laid off. And she found herself in a very similar situation. She's the one with the camera back there. Her name's Julie. She's a go-getter. I drug her to a meeting. She didn't want to come. I drug her to a meeting. She said, I'm in. She said, we've got to go sit in front of Pete Sr. and Pete Jr. and we've got to get coached at because I don't think you're doing this right. Are you with me? Yeah. So my daughter's 27, Pete's 26 at the time. We come in. Can I do my thing about you?
No, you deserve it.
So I'm 57. So we come to this back office right here, and Pete says, okay, we've got to do a PBR. And my daughter and I had a conversation earlier, and she said, Dad, I know you've got to be coachable. Will you be coachable? I'll be coachable. She said, Pete Jr. told me we've got to sell out to this. We've really got to be committed. Will you be committed? And I said, honey, I will be committed. Okay, then come to me at 3 o'clock at this meeting. So we sit down, and Pete Jr. says, okay, I'm going to launch you like we're going to start over because you messed up your first 30 days. And he said, let's set up your first PBR, private business reception, a whole meeting. He said, pull out your calendar, tell me what you got. Now, the date was February the 16th. I opened up my calendar, and I was speaking in Orlando later in the week. I was booked in San Francisco. I had other things going on, so I flipped through the pages, and I said, okay, it looks like March 13th or 14th will work for me. But I was serious. Are you with me? Because we're all in our own mentality, right? And this is what Pete Jr. did. I thought he was a gang member. He looked at me, seriously, he looked at me and he said, what? And I looked at him, I said, what? He said, what? He said, I'm talking about now, tonight, tomorrow, no later than Friday. This was a Monday. You gotta do this. And I looked at my daughter like, I think this guy's crazy. My daughter looked at me and said, Dad, you said you're going to be coachable. You said you were sold out on this. These guys know what they're doing.
Yeah.
These guys know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I said, you're right. That's what I said. I'm going to be coachable. So we had a meeting that Friday. We had 35 people come. We signed up 15 people. Yeah. Instead of staying home on Wednesday night in my blue jeans and my tracksuit and Saturday lounge around the house, I decided to get dressed and come on in. Now, I want to tell you that it put some stress on my relationship with my wife and I, because she was like, well, honey, what happened to, we used to have friends over at dinner and fly out of town. We used to do this and that. Now you're never home. What happened to the leisurely dinners we used to have? And I'd say, hon, number one, we can't afford them. Those days are gone. I'm going to try and recreate them. Okay? Here's the deal. The leadership, these guys right here, there is so much support here. So I just want to say this. If you decide to get involved, if you're a guest and you're looking at this, I got to tell you, I am more excited today than the day I started 11 months ago. Wow. And I will just tell you, if you'll just be coachable, just do what these folks tell you to do. This business, if you'll commit 10 hours a week, 12 hours a week to start, if you'll just do that, and do what they say. And one of the things they say, because I said, well, do I have to go to all the meetings? Should I come to Saturday training? It seemed like the last Saturday training was similar to the one before. Any of you ever feel that way? Right? And they said, JC, just come to all the meetings. Don't ever stop coming. And I will share this with you. If you sign up and you find yourself 2, 3, 4 weeks from now having a, watch this, valid reason why you didn't come to Saturday training this week, why you didn't come to the Wednesday meeting, why you can't make the Saturday, you're on your way out of the business.
Yeah.
You're on your way out of the business. Look in the mirror and just say, I think I'm on my way out of the business. Okay. So here's the deal. If you sign up and you'll commit and do what these leaders tell you to do, and come every Wednesday. I've heard some people say, well, I don't have a guest, that's why I'm not coming. Doesn't matter, you gotta come.
Yeah.
You've got to come and absorb this. Live it, breathe it. The reason that people will fail is because they don't give themselves a fair chance to succeed.
Yeah.
This company is a roadmap. And lastly, I'll just say this, Mr. Arroyo Jr. mentioned that I had written a few books. We just wrote our third book, and it's at the printers now. But the first book that I wrote, they use in universities, in motivational psychology classes. I did not write it to be a textbook. In fact, I'm a pretty simple guy. I'm really a pretty simple guy. In fact, when I wrote the book, my wife, who was the president of the State's Women Council of Realtors here in Nevada, was asked to do a critique on the book, a review, right? And so she, for a magazine, so she wrote the review and submitted it, and I went to her and I said, what did you say in the review? What's the review say? And she said, well, you'll read it when it comes out in the magazine. And so basically what the review says, the magazine came out, and I'm reading the review, and basically what the review said is, it's a really simple book with a really simple message written by a really simple guy. But I will share with you, I feel honored and humbled and fortunate that the book has actually affected a lot of people's lives. It really is a simple book. It's about an hour and a half read. And it has changed so many people's lives, and it's really a powerful book. And so I asked the Arroyos and the leadership team here if I could, as my gift for all the support that I have received right here in this building and from this leadership group, if I could give away 300 of those books. I want to share with you, this is not about me giving the books away. This is the book just matches everything that ACN stands for. It's really a book about how to change your life. And I just want to close with saying that when this is over tonight, you go out the back. I'm just going to ask if you're here with a couple or a husband or wife, just take one book because we've got more than 300 people here. But I will just share with you, ACN has absolutely changed. This will change my life. It can change your life. It can change your family's life and the future generations of your family. So God bless and thanks for having me.